I know the Beast because he helped train me in the business over 14 years ago. I got into wrestling because I've been a fan for as long as I can remember. James Beasley helped me achieve my dream.
I know the Beast pretty well. I've been in this business for 6 years. You know, he has trained me, and we had some, some wars.
Known him for a long time, man. He's a big dude in the business. Been in the business 35 years.
I follow him. The man's a legend. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for years. Before I was born.
I grew up around the business when I was younger, and I always had a passion for it. And I got a chance to work for Crockett Promotions when I was 16, driving a car. And the guys just took me under the wing and taught me a few things. And then one night a guy didn't make the show, and they just needed a body. And they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I did it, and I liked it, and they liked it. And they offered me a position, so after high school, I started wrestling for them full time. Paid my way through, started college with it. When I finished, I realized I was making more money in spandex than I was ever going to make with a college degree. No offense, but that's the truth. I stayed with it and had a ball. It's just, you don't really have to be business-like to be, business. Despite the way I look now, at one time I was pretty fit and worked as a male dancer for a while. Sometimes that still comes out when I come to the ring, as people have noticed and made reference to. Because of my martial arts background and my style, I was known basically as a shooter, which means I could hurt you if I wanted to. And if the promoter told me to, I would. It sounds kind of cold and heartless, but that's exactly the way the business used to be run. And I may take you to the middle of the ring, and I may hyperextend your shoulder. I may pop your knee out of socket. I may break a finger. Or an arm. Just depending on how bad of a infraction you went against the code that the wrestlers live by.
We were around the age of 14, met down at Carolina Beach. His mother owned a bar, my mother owned a bingo, and we met during church basketball practice. We played church basketball, we sang in the choir together, we went to Sunday school together, and hung out together. We were the couple on the beach. And then we sort of went our separate ways in high school, and after high school I got married. And then when my husband and I split and I moved back up here to take care of my mom, that was August of 2011, and come Riverfest that year they needed a medic. And James calls me up because he knows I have some medical training, and I didn't like wrestling, and I thought it was all make-believe. Until that first Riverfest. Between a guy getting his head busted open, multitudes of bumps and bruises and scratches and myriads of ice bags, that's when I realized it's not make-believe. Yeah, it's a show, it's entertaining, but these guys most of them are legit badasses. These are not what you see on TV. Practice hard, they work hard to perfect their craft, and they take it dead serious. The bumps and bruises and scrapes and contusions and concussions, they're real. They're to the point to where not only myself, but the medic we have that works with us, we both have suture kits in our medic bags. We both carry super glue to close minors' cuts. It's very real, and it takes years of practice to perfect it. It's not something you want to see on TV and say, oh, well, let's go in the backyard and try. It should have this disclaimer on it, do not do this at home. These are professionals. James decided to resurrect modern day warriors. And he said, you know, I know I can do it by myself, but I need somebody that's good with money. I have degrees in accounting and business, along with a few others, and I said, okay. At that time, his wife was still alive, and Betty was all for it. She thought it was a great idea because there was somebody level-headed in the business.
Her and my wife, they spent many hours talking about helping with the business and doing this. And it was almost like my wife was grooming the next person to be an important part of my life. And I thank her for that, but I still miss her. I know what'll happen when I retire. I won't know until that night that I'm in the ring, if it's my last show or not. When I cannot perform to a certain standard, in my opinion, and I'm harder on myself than anybody could ever be. People say, oh, that was a great match. And I think, no, it sucked. But when I don't feel that I can contribute to the product, then that night, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. I'll take a chair, I'll sit in the middle of the ring, and I'll take my boots off, and I'll sit my boots in that chair. That'll be the last time I ever get in a ring as a wrestler. Period.